This is for assignment 1 for Section 2 game design, and this is group 6, or the team name is designated Broken Imagination, with our logo on screen now. I'm Daniel Ralph, and this is
Thomas Tovey.
The other members of our group are Max Snell, Joel Ward, and Alexander Dawson. Our basic game concept design features a stealth 2D game that is based on a puzzle mechanic, for example.
The idea of the game is to get through each room via a door. There will be a door to get through at the end of the room, opposite to where you start. And you will have to avoid groups of enemies as you go through the room without coming into contact with them, or in the case of some enemies, without coming in a range of vision, in order to get through the game in a stealth-like mechanic without being seen.
However, there are a couple of twists. In each room, we are still in the development stage of this. There will be different puzzle opening doors. For example, one of the mechanics we've already been trying out, as you can see on screen now, is the turrets. The turret bullets will destroy the door. That's one of the ways that's one of the puzzles we are using at the moment. However, there will be other puzzles. For example, pressing a button and a timer on it, or the turret has to hit a number of objects at the same time, because there'll be more than one turret in a room, as well as enemies walking into the doors and destroying them, as well as a couple of more mechanics we've not thought of yet.
Currently, we are hoping that we'll be able to work out a way to have randomly generated rooms to give a unique experience to every time you play. Our idea for this is based on the game Binding of Isaac, where every time you play the game, the enemies and the room layout and the spawns are completely different, so you never have the same game. We're going to be using Game Maker to create our game, which is the program that our prototype is built in. However, we understand this may not be possible, so we also have another idea for the rooms, which is to create a large map but zoom the camera into one section of the map, and the map will be made up of many different rooms. And therefore, when you go through each door, the camera will move to each room individually, allowing you to progress through the map, but there may be multiple doors on each level, so each time you play you may take a different route to get to your eventual goal.
Yes, another little twist, another little good idea we've had here, as long with the zoomed in vision, is that it's zoomed in, but you don't see the whole room at the same time, so that enemies could come from anywhere, and if there are turrets in the room, you won't be able to see their bullets coming you until you only get a split second to react. So you have to stay very focused in this game, because it will be challenging in some areas. As well as for the end room, for the final boss, we've come up with a very basic idea of a boss battle with no fighting, but it will require a series of puzzles to be activated in the room without hitting the onslaught of enemies and turrets. So it will be a very tough little boss, but it will be very rewarding once you've done it.
In terms of carrying on from a prototype to our main game, we're hoping to improve the main AI. As you may have seen in the video, it generally gets stuck currently on the walls, and we're hoping to fix that, as well as the computer AI itself of the enemies are generally sticking to one direction when they move, which can make it become predictable after a few attempts.
This is probably because Game Maker can't really understand proper mechanics right.
So we're hoping to improve and fix that in our future videos.
One of the last things we are implementing is 3D sprites, because let's be honest, 2D animation is good, but there's no animation in the game, as you can see. However, in the end product, hopefully, we'll have 3D sprites in a 2D game, so that it'll give a bit more life into the game.
And this will be achieved by creating them in 3D Max and Blender and importing them into Game Maker.
Still a rather simple concept, but still very useful and for the resources we have available to us.
And create a larger amount of detail very simply for the game.
Exactly. As far as games concerned, I think that's all of our game ideas so far, is there? Or have you? Oh,
There
yes.
is one more.
There's one more, and that's the idea of multiplayer.
In our concept, we had several concept ideas for our games, and one of our members came up with the idea of a multiplayer game where it was split screen and you had to play with another person in order to get through. Now, while we're not using that idea, we're hoping to take some ideas possibly from it in having maybe a turret or another item controlled by another player, and they can either play against you to prevent you getting through the rooms or play with you to help you.
Yes, we think that's quite a clever idea we got there. Even though it's been done in several multiplayer games, it can still be a very fun and active way to have fun in the game. That's all of our ideas so far. We've got, I think we've got a good idea of what we're doing so far. The game is called The Shot in the Dark because it involves shooting you, I think, but it's still quite a cool name. I hope you've enjoyed our high concept video of our game. Our next video will be up in December sometime with hopefully with proper gameplay footage.
So, we hope to see you again soon. This has been Thomas.
And Daniel Ralph.
And thank you for listening.